Hey y'all, it's Daley Tactics here, back at it again with another Star Wars Top 10 video. You guys have been really into these in the past, so I thought I'd keep going with them, and I've been having a ton of fun making them, so why not? This one in particular was based purely off of community polling, so keep that in mind since I didn't make the list myself, but rather ask the audience, you guys, what you thought. As always, with these community polls, I will leave it down in the description so you can vote if you feel like one side was underrepresented or you just want to share your personal input. As it stands right now, when I am recording this video, the current number of votes sits at 737 total. The question at hand was, what is the best Star Wars army? Please let it be known that I kept this question very broad and simple for a reason, so everybody's interpretation of the word best is very different from one another. This is just a very general top 10 with little moderation or guidance from me, the surveyor. I also wanted to take a moment to thank people who contribute to Wikipedia, since that is where I get the majority of information about each army. Now, without further ado, let's get into the top 10 best Star Wars armies. At number 10, we have the army of the Hutt Cartel. The Hutt Cartel for years has been a powerful criminal syndicate and business alliance. The Hutts throughout history have held a standing army in order to protect their investments. However, it has never been particularly large. They mainly relied on mercenaries and bounty hunters that they paid to do their dirty work when they needed it instead of using their own forces. The Hutt Cartel lands at number 10 with one vote. Yes, you heard that right. One single vote. Out of 737 people who voted, one person thought the Hutt Cartel was the best. This is definitely a new for us in these polls. The Resistance Army falls into the number 9 slot. The Resistance Army was the land-based branch of the Resistance, an independent paramilitary group founded by General Leia Organa to defend the New Republic after said organization refused to take the threat of the First Order seriously, forcing her to take matters into her own hands. We saw the Resistance Army in action during the Battle of Takodana and the Battle of Crate. The core of the Resistance Army were the Resistance Troopers. The army also contained specialized units such as rocket troopers, Wookiee warriors, medics, and scouts. Commonly during battle, the army was led by military officers. The rarity of skilled personnel led to Army and Navy often switching service branches as was necessary and called for at the time. They had very similar structure, weaponry, and uniforms to the Rebel Alliance since it was founded under similar circumstances and leaders. I think their relative newness and the fact that we haven't seen them in action very much is the reason why they only got 4 votes total, but hey, still 3 more than the Hutt Cartel. The Battle Droid Army is at number 8 in this list and is finally where we get to start seeing more votes to each army. They took 2% of the total votes with 16. The Separatist Droid Army, also referred to as the Separatist Army, Droid Army, or as Droid Armies, was the ground army force of the Confederacy of Independent Systems during the Clone Wars and was part of the Confederacy military. The army was mostly built by Bactoid Combat Automa and led by Kalish Cyborg General Grievous. According to Count Dooku, head of state of the Confederacy, at the start of the conflict in 22 BBY, the Droid Army outnumbered the Republic's clone army 100 to 1. In addition to this opening amount of droids, the Separatists continued to produce droids throughout the war, a notable example being in 21 BBY when they ordered more than 3 million battle droids with Intergalactic Banking Clan helping to finance this order. The army was deactivated after the Clone Wars when Darth Sidious rose to power as Emperor of the Galactic Empire. Now, I think this one was so low in the standings since it was fighting against the Clone Army, which is a fan favorite on my channel, and therefore people might have biased against the battle droids. At number 7, we have the First Order Army. The First Order Army was the ground-based service branch of the First Order military, formed from the Imperial Army of the Galactic Empire. It was responsible for maintaining order throughout First Order space, as well as the gradual conquest and colonization of the unknown regions. The First Order Army was largely composed of stormtroopers, which had several variants that included snow troopers, scuba troopers, mega blaster heavy assault troopers, Flame Troopers, Riot Control Troopers, Rocket Troopers, First Order Stormtrooper Executioners, and First Order Stormtrooper Gunners. In total, the First Order received 18 votes, just 2 more than the Battle Droid Army did. As you can see, these lower ranking armies were very close, and a single vote or two could determine their positioning completely. The Alliance Army, also known as the Rebel Army, was a military branch containing the ground forces of the Alliance to restore the Republic. Ranking members of the Rebel Army could be identified by their pips with green markings. Eventually, it was replaced by the New Republic Army. The Rebel Alliance was often pressed for funding, weaponry, munitions, and vehicles, as they were, of course, a rebellion and therefore didn't have much in terms of infrastructure. Thus, the troopers utilized whatever weapons they could get their hands on. The Alliance ranks at number 6, with 22 votes, sitting at 3% of the total. At the halfway point of the top 10 list, we have the Sith Empire's army. The Imperial Army was the ground forces of the Imperial military of the reconstituted Sith Empire. It fought against the Galactic Republic during the Great Galactic War, the Cold War, and the Galactic War. They were involved in the Battle of Bothawi, where they faced a devastating defeat against the Republic defenders. The Imperial Army was also involved in the sacking of Coruscant, which brought about the Treaty of Coruscant that left both the Empire and the Republic in a state of Cold War. I was honestly kind of surprised that the Sith Army made it all the way to number 5, as we have never seen them in the feature film or a TV show, so having them be at this prestigious position is a testament to how good the Old Republic era's lore is, and how it has been presented in the extended universe. They ended up with 4% of the total votes, with 26 votes. Following up the Sith Empire Army is the Old Republic Army, ironically enough at number 4. The Republic Army, also known as the Republic Armies, was the collective ground forces of the Galactic Republic from its founding in 25,053 BBY until the dissolution of the Republic military in 1000 BBY. A force with a long history, its forces included specialized troopers such as rocket troopers, and also a fair number of combat droids of differing models. Most notably, they fought against the Sith Army in the Sith Wars. They ended up with a total of 39 votes, with 5% of the total percentage. Not too shabby. We're getting into the top 3 now, and starting off with the Stormtrooper Army. The Stormtrooper Corps, also referred to as the Trooper Corps, was an independent military branch operating under the Imperial Army of the Galactic Empire. The Corps was best known for its near-limitless supply of obedient stormtroopers trained at Imperial academies across the galaxy, as well as its near-fanatical devotion to Darth Vader. Regarded as the Empire's chief enforcers, the Corps would serve to remind the civilian populace of the Empire's military supremacy. In the aftermath of the Galactic Civil War, the training of stormtroopers was prohibited by the Galactic Concordance, a formal peace treaty between the Empire and the victorious New Republic. However, a new generation of stormtroopers would come to exist under the First Order, an Imperial-inspired military that recognized neither the treaty or the Republic's sovereignty. Stormtroopers are so classic and so synonymous with the Star Wars franchise, so they land at number 3. However, surprisingly, they only got 40 votes. I honestly expected the classics like these guys in the Rebel Alliance to do a little better maybe, but understandably, my viewers have quite a bit of bias on this channel. Number 2 was actually a bit of a surprise to me, as it falls to the Mandalorian Death Watch's army. I never thought that such a small army that wasn't shown very often would get the second best. The Death Watch was a Mandalorian splinter group that opposed the pacifist government of Mandalore led by Duchess Satine. After failed attempts at taking over Mandalore, they became part of Darth Maul's Shadow Collective, which successfully took control of the planet during the war. A power struggle that ultimately resulted in Mandalore Pre-Vizsla's death resulted in Death Watch being split into Mandalore's resistance, led by Bo-Katan Kryze and Mandalorian super commandos under Maul. They were extremely powerful troopers who were all highly trained. The Death Watch army took just 62 votes and 8% of the total. The Grand Army of the Republic, also referred to as the Republic Army, was the military force of the Galactic Republic during the Clone Wars. In addition to warships and advanced weaponry, the army consisted of legions of clone troopers, genetically identical soldiers bred to serve the Republic. Although the Clone Army was originally envisioned by Jedi Master Sifo Dyas, who secretly commissioned the Kaminoan cloners to create an army for the Republic, the clones ultimately became the secret weapon of the Sith, the ancient enemies of the Jedi Order. For 3 years, the Grand Army fought throughout much of the war-torn galaxy. Clone troopers served with distinction under the command of the Jedi, who had been commissioned as commanders and generals of the Grand Army. The Army's true purpose, however, was ultimately to destroy both the Republic and the Jedi Order. Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, and the true identity of Chancellor Palpatine, aka the Senate, had orchestrated the entire Clone Wars as a means to secure absolute power for himself. Upon discovering the Sith conspiracy, several members of the Jedi High Council tried and failed to arrest the Sith Lord. Sidious then issued Order 66 to the Grand Army, activating the clones' secret programming, which caused them to betray and murder their Jedi officers without question. I think that this particular army did so well in the poll due to my audience's bias. My audience is mainly used to watching Clone Wars videos, since that is what I mainly make content on. Therefore, most of the people who voted are the ones who watch my videos, and therefore are also fans of clone troopers. But nonetheless, the clones are seriously an awesome army who take the #1 position with a staggering 509 votes and 69% of the total. That's insane, and was an even larger lead than Captain Rex had when we voted on the best clone trooper commander. So, that was the top 10 Star Wars armies. If you guys don't agree with the rankings, please feel free to vote in the straw poll below and you can change the outcome. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Keep an eye out for more polls that I will be posting in the community tab of my channel. Also, do you have any other good ideas for top 10s I could do in the future? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, rate, and most importantly, subscribe if you enjoyed. Also check out all my social medias in the link in the description below. Alright, peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.